I want to segue into the Jacob Trouba incident over the weekend. I know everybody's probably heard about it and talked about it and everything else. Obviously, he was fined $5,000, which is the maximum under the current CBA. But to me, I don't know. I was kind of really surprised by this incident not being a suspension. We're going to play that. I'm going to pull it up right now, and we'll go ahead and play it on. I found it on Twitter here, or X, whatever you want to call it. But we'll play the incident real quick. I mean, that's wild to me. I mean, it's crazy to me to see something like that happen, and like $5,000 is like my work coming to me and saying, "Here, give us $10." I mean,
yeah.
I mean, this is crazy.
Yeah.
Explain this.
Yeah, I mean, I've definitely seen a lot more egregious stuff, and I mean, Kyle and John, I mean, feel free to chime in. And I know first thought is going to be the Ranger bias here, but it's not excusable, right? I mean, guys are in front of the net, duking it out, and I'm sure Jacob didn't mean anything by it, but you gotta keep a grip on your stick there. You can't be having it swinging it up there like that. It's not excusable. He served his 2 minutes. He got his 5,000. Ashley, I agree with you. He probably should get a suspension for that. But yeah, I think he got lucky with the $5,000 fine.
We could do a whole episode on the whole Department of Player Safety and suspensions and fines, and I won't get too far into it. Trouba doesn't get a benefit.
I love that they actually have something called the Department of Player Safety.
It's a mess, Ash. Just wait until
you learn the government or something.
We have a whole history lesson on this stuff. George Paros, get to know the name. Jacob Trouba doesn't get the benefit of the doubt amongst fans because he doesn't have the most spotless reputation. He's not a choir boy by any stretch. We get it. He's had incidents before, most notably the incident with Sidney Crosby in the playoffs a couple of years ago. People are willing to burn him at the stake for just about anything he did. What he did, like Luke said, wasn't excusable. But to his credit, he talked about it today. He owned up to it. Should he have gotten a suspension? Probably. I don't think I would have argued if he had gotten 1 or 2 games from the league. He didn't. There's been plenty of other incidents around the league over the last couple of years that haven't gotten suspensions that probably should have. I think slew footing is a major issue in the NHL right now that doesn't seem to get disciplined at all. But if you look at some other angles, there's some other angles from it. His arm was getting grabbed by Frederick. He was trying to pull away, and as he was pulling away from the arm, he swung a stick. Still can't do that. Got to be in control of your stick. But I do buy the fact that it's incidental. Like I said, he doesn't get that benefit of the doubt. But I do like to think of it as a little bit of an accidental situation. Doesn't mean he shouldn't have been suspended for it. I don't think it's as egregious as some of the Trouba haters have been making it out to be.
Yeah, I put it further under the microscope for Trouba. Trent Frederick is a little bit of an agitator. He definitely gets under the skin of other players. He's quick. He's a skill guy, but he throws his body around. And I think Trouba just uses his momentum to his advantage there and takes a little bit more than he should have on that swing.
Yeah. Hey, Ashley, can you pull up the clip one more time?
Yeah, let me grab it here. It'll take me a second. It'll take me 1 second here. I got to go back to. I actually X'd out of that screen.
Oh, you're good. I'll say a note about Paros, who's the head of player safety. 1,092 penalty minutes in his illustrious career in the NHL. That's who they put in charge of player safety. Who was it before? Was it Shanahan before him?
I think it might have been Brendan Shanahan.
And Brendan Shanahan was an enforcer too. So it's like
the atonement crew.
Yeah, it's like, all right. I paid my due in the box.
Rangers have had their issues with George Paros in the past, so the fact that he kind of let them off on this one, almost a bit surprising.
Might have been payback. Yeah, he was averaging a minor penalty a game in his career. Yeah, right there. I think maybe he just maybe saw like a fly flying around or something like that.
Oh my God.
There's just no.
I don't see it.
There's
not
no
intentional.
reason. There's absolutely no reason he should be swinging his stick around like that.
No.
But like I said, I agree. I think he should have gotten the suspension. I think maybe John's right too. I think maybe Parros felt like he owed the Rangers a little bit for Tom Wilson a couple years ago. A whole bunch of different factors going in there, but yeah, I think he got away with
he goes baseball style on him.
Oh yeah.
I mean, that's a chopped grounder.
I don't know if y'all feel the same way that I do in this situation, but like I get a little frustrated by the fan outrage in these situations with the discipline, because a couple of years ago, the Rangers were the only team that tried to say that Parros isn't fit for his position, that he isn't disciplining players properly, that isn't keeping players safe. Nobody stood up with them. And now here we are a couple years later, incidents are still happening, and every other team wants to complain that these incidents are happening. So I get a little frustrated by some of the fan outrage behind it, because there was an opportunity and no one took it.
Yeah, for sure. It's just wild to me, like coming from not having a history with the sports. Like you see something like that, and it's like, holy crap! Like if you saw, a batter just turn around and whack the catcher with the bat, like that dude's probably gone for a month. It's like,
it's like a guy picking up half a baseball bat and throwing it at the batter, like.
Well, and it's like I'll be in the game chat sometimes for in the Edmonton Discord. And guys will there's been a few times where like the team has had like a scoring opportunity, and instead like somebody decided to get in a fight. And I'm like, guys, we had the puck like right here, with a chance to take a shot. And I'll complain that they got in the fight, and everybody else is like, well, he can't let that guy get away with that. I'm like, well, you're taking away a scoring opportunity. Like,
yeah, Ash,
I'm thinking about it like other sports, like.
It's a time and a place. I get standing up for your team, but don't screw yourselves out of a scoring chance by doing it.
Yeah.